Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. Now, as you must have guessed from the title, today I'm going to be talking about my brush collection. I'm going to touch upon which are my personal favorites, the ones that I've accumulated over time, and which are the ones that you can really invest in. So if this is something that interests you, then please keep on watching. So I've just divided these into two. Now these are all the brushes for the base here, and in this white container I've just kept all the different eye brushes that I have. Now first I'm going to talk about the base. So beginning with foundation brush, I'm going to talk about my favorite one. This is the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. The number is RT200. This is a buffing brush. It's not having a circular, it's not like a perfect circle, it's like an oval shape here, and the bristles are very densely packed. The brush hair is very good quality. So when I use this personally, I don't have any brush strokes left, so I don't have to go over with a beauty blender, and that is what I'm really looking in a foundation brush. So I think this has to be my absolute favorite. Now if you're using a cream foundation, I wouldn't recommend the Real Techniques foundation brush. You will have to go in with something like a flat foundation brush. This is the one that I started my makeup journey with. It's the Pro Art PF02. Now I haven't used any other flat foundation brushes thereafter because I started using liquid foundations and I didn't really go back to a flat brush, so I can't give you more views about this kind of a brush. Now having said that, I do have a few other foundation brushes also which I use. This is the one by Zoeva. It's called the Silk Finish 102. It's again a buffing brush, equally beautiful. I absolutely love this as well. So the other one is the 104. Again, this one is by Zoeva. This is a flat kabuki brush similar to the one that you get in Sigma. I haven't really used this as yet, so I can't give you my views. And the other one that I have is by Tarte. I had got their Park Avenue collection Vault, and this brush came in that. It's very beautiful for foundation, very soft hair. So all of these four are my absolute favorite for the application of any liquid foundation. Now next I'm going to talk about concealer brushes. I have three over here. The first one is by Pro Art. I use this to just apply the concealer. I don't use it to blend. This is by Pro Art. The number is PF01. And I have two other brushes. Both are by Zoeva. And this is like a small, very small buffing brush. It's called the number is 142 Concealer Buffer. Okay, again very beautiful to kind of spot conceal and just cancel out any darkness. I use this to kind of blend my concealer in. And I also have a little bigger buffing brush. Again, this is by Zoeva. The number is 110. It's called Face Shape. Beautiful finish. It's just like their foundation brush. Doesn't leave any stroke marks whatsoever. Now what you can also use to blend in your concealer is that eyeshadow buffing brush. This one is by Pro Art. The number is PE23. I used to use this when I didn't have the Zoeva ones to blend in my cream concealers, and it did the job absolutely beautifully. You can go in then with your foundation to just ensure that there are no stroke marks or anything whatsoever, and everything looks well blended. So you can use eyeshadow brush like this. This is a blending one and it has more denser packed bristles, so I'd suggest you can invest in this as well. So next I'm going to talk about powder brushes. I have three of them here. The first one I'm going to speak about is this brush by PAC. It's a small powder brush. Again, very convenient to use under the eye, and anywhere where you've applied concealer, you just want to lightly dab, you can use this one. This is in the number 245. I think even Real Techniques has a similar one. Now I have this, so I did not buy that, but I think that is equally good, so you can make your choice. But I absolutely love this one as well. Now I also have two other big powder brushes that is for the entire face. This one is by Zoeva. The number is 106. I mostly use this, and again this is my favorite. And I also have this one by Real Techniques. It's the powder brush. There, I don't think there's a number on this, but this is how it looks. It's quite huge, so you can quickly add the powder and set your base with this also. I love both of them equally. Now next I'm going to talk about contouring. I have 4 brushes that I want to speak about. The first one is again by Zoeva. It's called the Cream Cheek. The number is 128. If you can see, this is quite angled, and it's not very densely packed, but it's just right to help you apply the contour in the perfect quantity and in the perfect place. I personally use this very often. The other one that I have is by Tarte. I don't think this has a number or name, but again it's quite angled. You can use this for the blush, you can also use this for the contour. I like it for both. Now for a precise nose contouring, I have this brush. This is by Zoeva. It's called the Contour Shader. The number is 235, and if you see, it's quite angled and small, just like this one, but of course very small. So what you can do is you can pick up the contour shade and draw 2 lines, and you can blend with this, or you can use an eyeshadow blending brush to blend the contour in. Now if you don't have this, you can again just use this, and this works equally good. So yeah, this is all I use for contouring. Moving on, I'm going to speak about the blush brush that I use. This is the one by Real Techniques. Again, the number is RT400. This is the one that I use most often. It's quite long if you see, and again very nicely packed bristles, very soft on the cheeks, so my personal favorite. Another one that I just showed you, this is by Tarte, the one that I showed you for contouring. Again, equally good to use for blush. So to talk about the brush I use to apply my most favorite makeup product, which is the highlighter, I use this brush by Anastasia Beverly Hills. The number is A23, and I do not use any other brush whatsoever unless there is a need. This is my absolute favorite. It's very convenient, and I think this just applies the highlighter in the right amount, in the right places. So if you can get like one brush that you can invest in for your highlighter, this has to be it. So that was it with the base makeup brushes. I am now moving on to the eye makeup brushes. So first we'll talk about brows. Now since most of you all know that I generally use the powder kits, or I use the brow pomade, I have to use these kind of brushes. Now the first one that I have is by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is in the number 12. It's very small, quite angled. Again, works perfectly for your brow wax or for the brow powders as well. It comes in with a spoolie on the other side, so just all in one. This is my favorite. I use this the most. Now I also use this brush along with that. This is by Zoeva. It's called the brow line. I use it to kind of just outline on top and the bottom, and these bristles are very soft, so they give you a very natural effect. And if you see, it's a little wider than the brush that I just showed you. So this is perfect to give it that natural line and define your brows. So both of these are a must-have for me. This one is by Zoeva. The number is 322. It's called Brow Line. So I have a couple of other options for brows. I have this brush by ProArt. It's in the number PE28, and this is how it looks. Again, very similar. I have used this brush, nothing wrong with it. The only thing is there's no spoolie on the other side, so you'll have to get a spoolie brush separately. And the other one that I have is by Zoeva. It's called 317 Wing Liner, and this is how it looks. Now moving on to the eyeshadow brushes, I have 3 of them here by ProArt. This is the first one I'm going to speak about is the PE22. Now if you see, this is quite long and very fluffy. You can use this to apply your transition shades. I also have PE23, again a little shorter than the first one, but and this is more densely packed, so you have to be careful when you use this, but both of these can be used to blend in your shadows. So another one by ProArt, this is in the number AE25. It's more of a flat buffing brush. Yeah, so I use this also to blend depending on what you are trying to achieve. I also have 4 different other brushes by Zoeva. Now I'm just going to read out the numbers. This one is the Petite Eye Blender. The number is 223. I use this to kind of just create a soft transition between the shimmer shade and the matte that you generally apply. The other one I have is called 227. It's the Luxe Soft Definer brush. Then there is the 231 Luxe Petite Crease, and last but not the least 228 the Luxe Crease. Oh, I forgot one more which I had. This is the PF08 by ProArt. Now you need all different kinds of blending brushes because I think here is where you'll use the most number of colors, and I think when you're in between makeups, having a set of blending brushes really helps. So yeah, these are the different eyeshadow blending brushes that I have. I also have two same brushes. This is the one by ProArt. It's called PE29. I generally use this for the inner corner highlight and to highlight in the brow bone. You can also use this when you want more of a thin application. It's a pencil shader brush. Again, absolute favorite and very affordable. Now to pack the eyeshadows, I have two main brushes. This one is by ProArt. It's called PE19. And the other one I have is by Zoeva. It's in the number 234. It's called Luxe Smoky Shader. So both of these work wonderfully. You can get either of them. Now for the eyeliner, I have two of these brushes. This one again by ProArt. It's in the number PE30. And this one is by Zoeva. The number is 315. It's called the Fine Liner. It's a little angled. And to apply the lipstick, I have one brush here. This is by ProArt. It's in the number AL36. This is how it looks. Again, does the job. So that was it for my brush collection, and I do have a few other brushes, but I haven't used them as yet, so I didn't want to include them in this video. Now, before I end this, I just wanted to mention a few more things. This brush set that I got from Zoeva, I had placed my order on a UK based website. It's called Beauty Bay. If you want, you can order from there, but again, since it's based in UK, you'll have to pay the customs. And also a few other brushes which I showed you from Tarte and by Anastasia Beverly Hills. These were ordered through a friend who was traveling from US, so that's how I procured them. Of course, and the rest are available in India, like the Real Techniques, the ones I showed you by ProArt, the ones by PAC. So if you want a good affordable brush set, I would suggest that you try the brushes from Real Techniques and explore the brush range from PAC. They are really good ones and they're going to last you a long time. You can also explore ProArt for a specific few brushes which I have showed you today. Of course, there are a lot of other brands which are doing really good makeup brushes, so if you want to explore them, please do. There is MAC, there is Sigma. You need to find out something that works for you, do your research and then invest in those brushes. The good quality brushes are going to last you a long time, so I think it's definitely worth the investment. With that said and done, I'm going to end this video. I hope this was helpful. Let me know your views in the comment section below. If you enjoyed my content, then please like the video, share it with your friends who also will benefit from it, and please subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye bye.